Round two with Ray and Pete.
Yeah, so we just created ourselves of round one of the VFS. Nice little battle settling up between the French and the Italian team, Esercito. And we're moving into formation skydiving female, Ray.
That's right, and we have three teams in the female category. So what you're seeing right now is the Voss Bingos from Norway getting ready for their dive. This round is the same draw as the VFS and the FS for the female and for the Open. And first round today is, I believe it's
QF614.
And we'll just say a very happy birthday to Vilda, who's 18 today.
Oh, nice.
Happy birthday, Vilda. Happy birthday.
Voss ready in the tunnel, and they're in.
Okay, so QF614, it's straight up, unlike the VFS, this is a straight up skydive, no memory on this round. Ray, we were just saying we thought it was a really nice opening round. It gives your team a chance to kind of find some rhythm with some straight up random moves. Although the Voss girls struggling a little bit on that 14 build right there.
Yeah, so interesting, we've still got the bottom cam for the video. Obviously just leading off for the VFS, and we definitely have another few views that will be coming up shortly. But as you can see, this is a nice round to start with. Calms the team down, but they had a little glitch there just in the middle of the skydive.
Yeah. And you know that lower camera, I don't mind it, Ray. I actually quite enjoy looking at it. Spent a little bit of time from a coach's perspective looking at the various angles. And it just keeps everything nice and round and relatively easy to see. You could probably judge it quite clearly from there as well.
Especially with their wetsuits and black gloves.
So there we go. So we got Voss Bingos. They've just done round one. A couple of little glitches, but nice round to start, as we said. And getting to the tunnel now, Ray, is your ex-team. How does that feel, watching them?
It's great watching them. Sometimes I want to be part of them, but this team just goes from strength to strength. And they do a really good job of taking on new people, new members coming into the team. So Julia Foxwell's been in and out of this team, but is now a permanent member, I believe, for this season.
Yeah, so new members, but Julia is not a new skydiver, as we know. She is very strong, a stalwart of UK formation skydiving, mother of two. She's just come back from a 2-week holiday in the Caribbean, lucky girl. And now she gets to compete at the Wind Games with a very strong lineup from NFTO. British team kind of dominating the UK skydiving scene in FS. Really good to see a girls team doing this. And they'll be training and getting ready for their World Championships coming up this year.
They look like they are clued on, ready to go, prepared for this first round of the competition. Go very strong.
They did. Super focused, obviously, like any team, but you notice some teams that kind of get a little bit more inside that bubble. You know, as I walked by them as they were prepping earlier this morning, they were focused and ready.
And that was a great round from them.
Very nice round to start. Jules with a little grin coming out. I've competed with Jules. She is a dynamo, isn't she? I love to train with her, love to compete with her. And really good to see these girls putting on such a big show. Working now to compete against Nifty Swim B, which is the French formation skydiving female team. They have a highest average of 28, so already they're starting a little bit ahead of maybe NFTO, but let's see how they do in this competition here.
Yeah, they are currently the indoor champions, I believe, from last year in Windy. And I think they've just had a small lineup change, so Pamela has come in. I can never pronounce
yeah, actually they've had two lineups. You know, I've been talking about them as a strong team, but actually going to review that a little bit. And they have a couple of lineup changes. It's going to slow them down, so it's going to give the NFTO girls maybe a little bit of a head start on that.
I think in the last Indoor World Meet last year, there was 2 points in it between these two teams, but obviously they had a different lineup, as you mentioned, Pete.
Yeah.
And that's now, as I said, I think Clementine was in this team in that lineup, and Pamela has stepped in now.
Yeah, they don't look as fast. No. They certainly don't look as fast as NFTO, but looking at that projected score is only a 1-point difference in it. So it's not all about speed, as we know in this game. It's about precision, synchronicity, and getting those points on the board for the judges.
A question coming in, Pete, from Jason Cook, our good friend. We talked a bit about this in Bedford last year. He said, what's the best colour for the tunnel for judging?
Yeah, very nice. So we don't like bright reds. That seems to go out. But what's good, some kind of plain monochrome colours. We had a little, a little poll last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I haven't heard back from the judges. I have to say, black kind of lose it. You look at something like this, it's okay. but I'd like to see a little bit of colour. Like
Those blues from the Windy teams were fantastic.
Yeah, dark, maybe something, a little bit darker. And obviously we need the standard, the industry standard of those bright gloves to show a clear line of the hands on the grips. So currently we're looking at, we have started the FS Open. We've just gone straight into it. And so we should now be looking at Real Fire, which is a team from Switzerland. And they have a recent average of 22.3 in AA. So this looks like a first AAA outing for this competition.
Yeah, I like the colour of their shoes. Sorry, have you seen one of them that's got rainbow-coloured shoes, Pete?
You know, it's quite notable, isn't it? There's a couple of team members in various FS teams. So that was the first of the FS Open, Real Fire, and that's Charlotte, Jordan, Jérôme, and Eric from Sion. Next up, Spanish team here, Windoor Angels. This is the team from Madrid with Paloma. Yep, she's head person from the wind tunnel down there. And they had a pretty good time last time. They were here at the Wind Games and then went straight on to the Body Flight Challenge.
Yeah, they did. So the Windoor Angels, it consists of Paloma, as we already mentioned, Granero, Maribel Amat, Roy Artavia, and Juan Miguel Paton, all Spanish flyers, as you said, Pete. And they have steadily been progressing through each competition that they've competed at. And I haven't seen them in a while, actually, in the indoor circuit. So it's interesting to see how they're getting on.
Yeah, they haven't done anything since Bedford. Interestingly enough, if you look at their engineering here, from the end of the 14 into the queue, they've gone for a blind turn. Which is, that's a noble effort there, actually. But doing pretty good for their first round of competition. If they can keep it into a 20 plus, I think they'd be very happy with that.
Yeah, and the indicative score is showing you they've got 21 at the moment, so they'll be happy with that.
Yeah.
And I guess the blind turn with the tunnel isn't too bad, right?
It is. I mean, it didn't look good, though, I have to say. It's not something that I would have felt comfortable with, but hey, then maybe I've got something to learn from them on it as well. All right, so team standby. This is another, tell a lie, Team Equinox. This is from Lithuania. Yeah, they've been training a lot the last couple of days. I think they've been getting used to the tunnel.
Yeah, they have. And more colourful shoes. Sorry, I should be drawn to the shoes. But
Ray is being distracted by teammates' shoes right now.
So this team consists of Rasa. I'm going to be, my pronunciation, apologies for all the Lithuanians.
Good luck with Lithuanian names.
Skordien. Algimantes Spodis, Mindaugas, Civilis, and Diana Dinskite.
Ray, I'm amazed. Good job for even attempting that.
But it's
all right, so apart from being distracted by the shoes, the person with the green shoes is also taking, you can see the difference now from the end of the 14 as they finish that block. He's taking the longer visual turn into the queue. Now, time-wise, obviously, it could take a little bit longer, but it just puts you a little more ready to go, I think, for that next little sequence.
You've got the visual clocking it the whole way around. It's nice, consistent, and it's a move that you're familiar with as well.
Exactly, yeah. But let's look and see what the other teams do. We might see some of the top teams go for that blind turn, in which case I'd be interested to see how it works. So team standby. This is a little of a mixed team. It's got 3 Italians and 1 Ukrainian. They've got about 20 hours together, Ray.
Really?
Yeah, they've been training mostly in Milano, but also in Warsaw. And their coaches are Michele, the new Belgian guy, and also Dave from Hayabusa. So we're expecting to see some good stuff from these guys with the amount of time they've had together, although this is their first competition.
Exactly. First competition, you can just see as they're picking up the grips, it's a little bit of tentative first competition nerves, I think, is what you can take from that. But they're flying really well.
Yeah, certainly clean.
Which is what you want to see.
And for those of you watching on the outside, you'll notice that some teams seem to do the jumps in one direction and some teams in the other. We're calling that left or right-hand continuity. And this will be one of those teams that has the right-hand continuity being coached by the Italian-Belgian combo.
And that generally comes from the plane door, Pete, or does it come from, is it historically a reason for it? I always thought it was due to exit of the plane.
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head there, Ray. It's all about what has been your standard aircraft. So if it's a Pilatus in France or Italy, or if it's a Caravan or an Otter in the US or some of the other countries in Europe. Here we go, Moulay. Great to see Moulay back. Welcome back, Moulay. He was on Team Tananine for a while. They've now got he's got a new team, 3 boys and 1 girl.
That's 3 boys and a girl then. I say there's a girl on the team.
Is
I
there?
hope so. Let's
I
have a
haven't
look.
actually seen one yet.
maybe Mule is a girl. So Mule Abbas, Jean Tamala.
I think Thomas is the stand-in girl, which
there you go.
very noble. I'm sure he's fulfilling that role very well. Good one,
Just to
Thomas.
complete the lineup, it's Charles Gravelo and Tommy Sprain is on this team as well. I think they're being coached by Julien.
They have, yes, been coached by Julien. Their objective here is to establish a baseline. And this is their first competition together. And they don't have a lot of information to share. It looks like Thomas is a bit of a stand-in, actually,
Yeah,
on this
probably, I
one.
think. So maybe he's a girl. I
He
think
is the
they
girl
said,
for this
yeah.
competition. Nice one. All right, so they're also doing the right-hand continuity. Is that correct, Ray?
I think so, yeah, from what I can see.
Yeah, so they're also going with it. Obviously, with Julian as their coach, who's going to be directing them on that
That's
side.
right.
And I think that's how Tananim were flying for
Yeah.
the last few years as well.
I think just going back for those people that are watching online, we refer back to aircraft in general, and I think it's one of those things that we should probably point out for outdoor and indoor competition. You don't really want to change the continuity if you do fly outdoors and indoors. You want to keep the same
Keep things
continuity
the same,
for
yeah.
the tunnel.
All right, nice one. So this is actually my team, Blue Steel. I've been coaching them remotely in Finland. Went out to see them in Helsinki. This is their kind of first big international competition together, although they have quite an active scene in Finland with the cloud leagues and things like that with the NSL. This team, they averaged just over 19 on their last competition. They got some stiff competition in Finland with the pro team and Just for Fun guys.
Exactly. And it's good to see like three competitive teams in Finland.
Oh man, it's awesome. It shows you that the advent of the tunnels is really helping out with regards to progressing teams. This was, as a coach's perspective, I'm pretty happy with this as they're round together.
Great.
This team have 3 people that have been on the national team together, not together. Sorry, they have been on the national team, but not together.
In different teams.
In different teams.
Right, okay.
And then Otto is the new guy on the team. He's got the most to learn, but doing a really good job. So very nice from Blue Steel. They opened up the account here for the Win Games. Good job, guys.
One of the things that you might notice with the indicative scoring that's coming in at the moment, everything is in the early 20s for these teams flying in. So it gives you a good indication that what we might see in the future, like some of these teams are going to be quite close as the draw progresses. And we hope to see some battles across as well.
Yeah, we're going to get into that. I think today with 5 rounds to look at, we're going to have a pretty good idea of where those battles are taking place, right? Team from Austria, I believe, right now.
Yes. So the Windoor Black Mantis. So Melanie, I'm going to do this again with my surnames, but Kuchenbauer,
Beautiful.
Arthur Gazda, Martin Pedot, and Mikael Axman.
All right, and they look like they have left-hand door continuity. So they have a tunnel in Vienna that looks like that's where these guys are based. Been coaching there a couple of times. Nice place. Obviously, go to Vienna, and if you want to, fly in the tunnel as well.
I've never
These
been
guys
there.
are looking good. So they've just bust on a projected score over 25 into 26. That puts them up in competition with a whole group of teams.
Exactly, it's really good.
Very
They're
nice from Black Mantis there. From
super
Windoor.
pleased with that. They look very happy, smiles all around.
Yeah.
We've got some messages coming in, guys, on the Twitter feed. iFly Utah says cheering on for SDC Core, and they're hoping they're going to kill it. You can keep in touch with us on hashtag the Win Games.
So next in the tunnel we have the Lucky Boys. This is Anniko Bodner, Sonia Vingenda, Josef Kiss, and Janos Salai.
I'm so impressed, Ray, that you're going to attempt to pronounce all
I'm
this.
going to try, just once.
Okay, so Hungarian team, right?
Yes, that's right.
They have a 20 average from their last competition.
So if memory serves, I think these are two Hungarian teams that have come together with there's an all-female team, I think, at one point, or no, maybe not, but they...
3 teams.
Yeah, that's right. And, they're obviously reforming and with new teammates coming on, so they're starting their journey a little bit more afresh, I think, now. Is that right, Pete? I think.
It looks like they've been working together for 1.5 years, according from the notes that I got from these guys. But yeah, from 1.5 years ago, things have just started. Are we looking at a slightly slower screen here, or is this normal speed?
It looks a little bit slow-mo.
Something a little bit different.
I think what you're
about the
watching
video.
there, guys, was a review of the judges in their judging. You're seeing the judges doing their thing.
great.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you
That's
very
good
much.
to know for those that are watching us live, that you can see some of the judging doing their reviews as we roll through.
Okay, so the Dutch national team.
One of my favourite teams out of the blue.
This is one of my favourite teams last year as well.
We like watching this team and you know, really watching that they really, when you see team, these guys work really well as a team. They're very together. There's a lot of good communication. I think they've been flying as a team for a couple of years now. And they're generally but seasoned competitors. At least one
no
of
team
them
changes. This is a team that has spent some time together. They got a really nice look to them as well, sharp with those colours, with those helmets.
And they like buying me the odd gin and tonic. So.
Very nice.
Okay.
All right, so we're looking at the team from outside the tunnel. It's kind of nice to see this perspective. You know, we've seen the judging kind of view from below and above, but now we're actually getting to see the three-dimensional element of this. So you get to see, like on block 6, when you got the double vertical happening and the rest of the round happening on 2 dimensions.
And you get to see like the energy that you get from closes of blocks as well, really, can't you? When the vertical closes, and how that can disrupt you for the next sequence of random moves as well that you
completely
might have.
Ray. Yeah, when you look at those completely vertical videos, things look smooth.
Yeah.
And it's great for judging, but from a coach's perspective, I'm sure, you know, like me, you really enjoy looking at that third dimension.
So next in, Team Papaya.
Spanish national champions.
Yes. So shall I go with the names? I'll try again. So it's Oscar Marcel, Christian Molto, Miguel Gomez Rivas, and Oscar Garcia.
Brava. Very nice, Ray. Good Spanish. And so starting off, diving the queue in. And these guys have got the right-hand door continuity as well.
It's interesting to look at. We just saw out of the blue in the tunnel, and now we're looking at slightly different technique on the block 6. Just from the vertical that they're doing, it looks like there's a little bit more energy
and a lot more vertical
in it than we had from out the blue.
Yeah, a lot of teams try and keep it to a minimum, just so that we don't have so much of those issues that you were talking about at the end of the 6. This team is going for a big vertical at the start and then kind of fixing it through to the finish.
Exactly.
Although having said that, you know, they're punched up above 20.
Yeah.
They do have 2 new team members. I mean, their previous average was 26, but they've changed 2 people since their last competition. All right, so actually, yeah, as a team, these guys only have 1 month together.
Oh, wow. That's pretty good for 1 month.
It's a very good start. Oh, I'm excited to see this game. Here we have Oceanside Atomics. Very excited to see this team. They've got Paul Hofse joining them recently.
Yeah.
You may think of him as non-German, but I believe he's able to compete for Germany this year, national team.
And so the other members of the team, as well as Paul, Andrea Kleinschmidt, Holger Sass, and Peter Ingenhag.
Very nice. So they should be a very tight team. Even though change 1 team member, Paul is going to bring things to this team. He's definitely going to bring a wealth of experience and ability. We shouldn't see too much of a hiccup for them. In fact, we should actually see a bit of a gain.
Just as you said hiccup.
I know, they heard me.
Commentators curse.
That was a little glitch that's going to slow it down. Still puts them above 25, hopefully, from the projected score, not real scores yet. Let's see what the judges have to say with that. That little glitch was more of a slowdown.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so that was interesting, the technique of the 6. A lot more rotation at the start of the block. And kind of makes things a little bit tough for the point. Let's see, let's look at some of the other top teams, see how they're dealing with that.
Next in we have the Wimby Unicorns. And this is good to see. So this is a combination of some ex-world champions in here. So we have Julien Deguin from France, Alessandra Rango from Italy, Clementine Le Bohec from France, and Federico Angelotti from Italy. So obviously Clem and Julien, very experienced flyers, experienced competitors, and Alejandro and Federico are bringing themselves up, and really watching these guys fly together and the pace that they've set is good to see.
Yeah, so Federico's the new guy to this team. This team has got quite some time. They've got 2 years together as a core with a high point of a 28. Wow. Federico being the new guy on the team, they're taking that blind turn to the queue. Exactly. Good job, guys. Stuff to learn here as well from the commentators box. There we go. They do it well, actually.
They do.
Look a lot more balanced than the last time we saw that move done on the outside of the queue.
I guess if you train something at the end of the day and you're used to seeing it, and the
I like it.
there.
I think I'm going to try and, as soon as I get next time in town, I'm going to give that a go.
You're going to go.
Yeah.
Excellent.
A very nice start from Wimby Unicorns. As we said, we've got one new team member. Doesn't seem to be slowing them down too much at all. Well done, Federico. Bravo.
Oh, next in, Echo Chamber.
Yeah, we were just chatting there. So let's see.
So this team has been on the circuit for a long time, made up of Ulf Lienbach, Matthias Nord, Richard Redenschel, and Johan Edvald.
Yeah, so we were just chatting with Matthias, who's kind of the player coach on this team.
That's okay.
He was saying that this is, they've been doing all their training with rigs on in the tunnel in order to be prepared for the outdoor season. And so they said we're going to expect to see them flying a lot more mechanical and structured maybe than some of the other more tunnel-focused teams. I'm kind of excited to see how they bring that game into the tunnel.
Sorry, it looks like they're doing a good job of this right now. And I have been watching them over the years, and I think it's always going to bring something new, as you say, but I think it's good for them as well. It's flying with the rigs on the tunnel slows you down. It's more, more like flying outdoors, but it also teaches you not to reach for things and not to try and.
Yeah, they have to stay a lot more in control. Exactly. And Matthias was saying how much more focus they're putting on sequencing grips, choreographing the skydive. They also went for that real high rotation on the start for the outside center at the start of the 6, putting a little pressure on the point, but didn't seem to affect them. Had them ready nice and quick for the close. Okay, so the game's being up now by the teams as we go in higher up the order. Obviously, we're going to see faster teams. More precision as well. We got ISR Fireflash. Go with the names, Ray.
Yeah, exactly. So, Maya von Kampenhout, Sven Ebens, Wesley. Oh yeah, have to help me with this one. Klesen. I can never. Klesens. And Glenn Kulatis.
Yes.
I'm not doing such a good job there.
I'm so impressed with your attempt to do these names. I wouldn't even think about it.
I'm only going to try it once.
Okay, they're also going for that blind turn on the outside into the queue. The technique of the 6, if you watch it, so outside turn a little bit straighter now, kind of opens the door a little bit. Not saying one technique is better than the other, it's just a slightly different technique, giving slightly different moves and finishes. Nice to see the difference though. If we all skydived exactly the same, what a boring job this would be, Ray. And also to do it as well, we fly how we are as a team or as an individual, and you find your identity the longer that you spend with a team.
Hey, look, a bit of puffing there from Sven. He looks happy with that.
Message for you, Ray. Champagne Golly says, hi, Ray.
Hello, hi. Hope you're doing well. So next in we have SDC Rhythm.
XP, very nice to see these guys.
So we have a little bit of a lineup change. So Jen hasn't joined them.
Yes, so Drew Starr from the Golden Knights is taking Jeanette's slot here. They had some issues that they were working on as a family, and really nice to see these guys bring in a team member to this competition. And look at them go, Ray. I mean, Drew is not going to slow this team down. I mean, he's bringing in World Championship style skydiving, generally as an 8-way flyer, but don't think it's slowing down his 4-way game too much, do you, Ray?
He's faster than the rest of the team.
Really nice to see these guys flying so well together. They're opening it up with the highest scoring so far from any team. I didn't see what the... no, they're above. They're above and beyond anything we've seen so far. So SDC Rhythm, beautiful start to the competition. It's kind of like laying it out there and saying, go on then, guys, let's see what you can do.
It's good because I haven't seen them fly in this format, this lineup.
No.
So, nice.
I don't think anyone has, have we? This is the first time, and look at that. So SDC Rhythm, a superb start to the game.
And I Fly Utah again, giving them a shout out on the Twitter feed. Keep in touch, hashtag the Win Games.
Very nice. So the next team up, team from Moscow. This is the Russian national indoor team. Really interesting lineup. They've competed in various lineups, some together, some apart. We've got some long-term players here. Always interesting to see the Russian team. They're always going to go for the more interesting engineering, as we know. It's gone for that blind turn as well. So, losing it then on the 14. That's some of that synchronicity that we were getting from the Echo Chamber boys that's missing maybe on a pure tunnel team. They're going for more speed. Nice open technique on the 6s as well.
What's nice to see though is as soon as they had that glitch, they slowed it down, rebuilt, and built up the speed again, which you really get with seasoned competitive teams because they've seen it so many times. That they know what they need to do going forward, and that's experience. And these guys, as you said, are very experienced competitors. May have been on different teams, but they brought it back. So they'll be happy that they managed to do that.
Absolutely right, Ray. I mean, we can all skydive well when things are going smoothly, but when that mistake comes, can you reset and refocus? Okay, Arizona Airspeed. Whenever you say that name, it brings such a wealth of history, Ray.
It does.
And it takes it back to the 90s. But what we're seeing here is a very different lineup from Arizona Airspeed. They have bravely taken on 2 brand new team members, and you're going to give us their names of the whole team right now. Should be a little easier for you, this one.
So this is Nicholas Hemlin, who's been on the team for a while, Mikhail Markin, Joey Marshall, and Christopher Corman.
Yeah, so as we said, 2 brand new team members and some nice green trainers. I'm sure you'll be enjoying that, Ray.
I am.
Yeah.
And different helmets as well.
Yeah.
They've moved on from the multicoloured helmets that they used to have, and they've got some very...
Bit of a disruptive pattern though still, don't you think?
I know, but I'm not distracted. They're still going strong.
Good job. We're not seeing the projected score on this round, but my guess is pretty good.
Pretty good.
They're keeping things moving. Nice bit of flow actually to this team as well. Some of that was interesting grip on the inside of that 14.
Yeah.
Let's see what the judges say to that one, Ray.
I still think they look super fast. A few glitches here and there, like on and off grips, not necessarily completely synchronous, but a good round from them.
Absolutely, I'm sure they'll be happy with that as an opener into the bank. And flow, I think, was the word I would use there. Something that we've not always seen from Airspeed. So maybe that's something they're going to be incorporating.
Maybe working on.
Yeah.
Next in, do you want to introduce these guys?
Who is this guy? So I've never seen these guys before. All right, so this is NMP-PCH, which is basically the National Military Parachuting Team. That's what all those initials mean. I just found out before.
That's good.
I'd often wondered that.
Yeah.
And here we go. There's not much to say about these guys apart from Dynasty. I mean,
It's the last time we're going to see him in competition in the tunnel.
yes, and it's the only competition that they're going to do this year indoor.
Yeah.
And this is Dave's last competition. He's leaving the team at the end of the year, making way for Michele, the new guy from Italy that's joining the team.
Dave's a new dad now as well, right? So
Yes, absolutely. So it's, I'm never jaded watching these guys. How can you be? Because you're watching a masterclass in so many different elements of formation skydiving. Although they're going to have their work cut out with SDC Rhythm.
Yeah, I think I can see it.
I mean, right now, Hayabusa, the reigning world champions, the reigning win game champions, are on projected score looking beaten by SDC. So
they didn't look. SDC just looked like they were on and off the grips at the same time. The flow was there, as you said. Just looked faster.
So there we go. We've had the first round of the FS and the VFS. Your first ideas.